Ah.
Wow. It's just like real life, man. What the?
So, Isle 9 is the big update that has reinvented the wheel in Roblox and raked in 900 more billion players. Yeah, okay. This update was massively hyped for a long time now, and with that in mind I can understand why so many people love this update. Some people out there really do follow and invest their time into Badorkbee games and Isle, and I can see why they think that this update was the best thing to ever come across Earth. But to others, not so much. So was Isle 9 worth the wait of like 10 years? Let's talk about it. With Isle 8's gigantic bombshell that it dropped, in which it basically said that the entire Isle is a simulation, you'd imagine that it would be a pretty tough act to follow when it came to storytelling, which is probably why they didn't follow up on it very much. However, they did add a little bit of lore in there to show that there might be more to the simulation that meets the eye in the form of the pig. Which was kinda nice, given how barren that all the rooms in the truth ending are. Now, obviously, they couldn't make the entire island simulation collapse or something for an ending, so in terms of progressing the story, not a lot happened there, but in terms of gameplay content, the update certainly had its cards to play. They added the parasites, which kind of remind me of the Predator. They added a dragon that just kinda looks like a furry, to be honest. They added a hot air balloon escape that nobody really cared about. They made the sea monster have an actual model. They added zombies, but most importantly, they added a woman. Now, given how much time that the game was stuck in Isle 8, you'd think that maybe the game would have some sort of explanation for why the aliens just suddenly showed up. But there really isn't one? Like, to think that the people in charge of the simulation maybe just started changing things up as time went on, but apparently not. I guess they've just always been there. And it's not like even saying that the parasites are an invasion of some sort that just happened to arrive on the island recently. They've just always been here, and I guess you never noticed in the previous installments of Isle. But besides this, the addition of the parasites was a wonderful little splash of difficulty that the game certainly needed. The Mercs were getting old because doing True Champion over and over again was literally the only difficult part of Isle, and it could be easily accomplished by just spamming the scoped rifle. Basically, the only way to really have any sort of difficulty was to purposely handicap yourself and not do the optimal strategy. But now the parasites are here, and while, admittedly, you can just snipe them all to death, the hornet might actually make that task a little difficult. The hornet shoots these stupid little red balls in sets of 3, and yeah, they do a fuck ton of damage. It definitely did feel like it was the most oppressive out of the 3 parasites before its nerf, just because of the outrageous range that it had, and the fact that you basically didn't get a chance to fight it if it got the first hit on you. But who knows, maybe this nerf to his gun has brought good favor to the game, I don't know. Just snipe him. And then you have the leech, the second most dangerous parasite, who uses blades called the tendrils that can also block bullets. He's also really annoying to deal with, but he has to actually get decently close to you in order to kill you, so it's not quite as bad. And then there's the frog, that literally does nothing. All it does is frog spawn, which aren't really a big deal because they despawn after a set amount of time anyways. If you kill the frog, then the frog spawn stops spawning forever. I believe the point of the frog is not to be an enemy that's supposed to kill you. It's just meant to be some sort of device, per se. Like, the frog spawn are just a constant threat on the island, and the frog spawn serves its only purpose as the power switch for it. When you kill the frog, you turn off the switch, and they stop spawning forever. Anyhow, I think all 3 of the parasites are a great addition to the game. However, the hornet can seem really unfair at times. Like, the sniper was fair in the way that it was an insta-kill, but if you were smart enough, you were going to take cover whenever the sniper started watching you. It basically rewarded the player for having knowledge. But I feel as if the hornet will still kill players even if they are experienced, with the only way to really avoid it is just never going near it whatsoever. Alright, so the dragon thing is called Polly, and she's one of the 3 guardians created to guard the Isle. But she didn't really do a good job at it because there's all this shit running around. Okay, so anyway, she's actually the one who sent the tropical storm that starts encapsulating the island on day 3, so yeah. Also, she has lightning powers and she can kill things with said lightning, and she's also used to get the orbit ending. I find it weird how the mantis created a sea monster, a dragon, and a snake to guard the island, and yet the snake doesn't do jack shit. Like, the only part that it's guarding is Artifact A. It would make sense if it was still guarding Artifact B because Artifact B is good, or it was good at one point, but now it's just guarding Artifact A. Like, what the fuck? And the sea monster, yeah, it exists to protect the island from people coming from the sea, but like, you barely ever see it in game anyways unless you're a dumb idiot. The blue mantis is this woman who you summon through activating all 3 pylons, one of which is in an Indiana Jones style trap that can easily destroy your entire run in a swift second, and I think that's a little unfair, but it's fine because I don't think mobile players will be playing this game anyways. She apparently was originally on the island like 900 million years ago or something, and she left behind 3 guardians to guard the isle, but like I said, they didn't do jack shit at all because there's humans and parasites running around. How deep does this fucking artificial simulation go? You're supposed to use this remote that she gives you to send her to attack the people, but for some reason it doesn't always work, and if somebody accidentally shoots her, she turns hostile and you can't get the orbit ending anymore. Yep, all that work is gone because one specific person shot her. Mantis is a fucking racist bitch. I think that she looks cool, I just don't like the way that she looks without the mask on because it's weird. But apparently some people do. So I guess they found the right audience with that one. I just think she's a mass fisher. Now, if you're a Badorkbee fan, I can totally see why IO9 was so likable, but when you factor in a couple things, you might be able to see why this update wasn't quite the cup of tea that many had hoped for. For starters, I'll say that the decent portion of the player base got completely cucked. For those who still don't consider mobile players a legitimate portion of Roblox in 2022, please think to yourself, Roblox is a game marketed for kids, yes, so what child would spend $1,000 on a gaming PC just to play Roblox? More specifically, one Roblox game. I can't imagine being somebody who spent all these months hyping up and talking about IO9 only to not be able to play it at all when the update actually dropped. And whenever you complain about it, people just insult you for not owning a gaming PC. You dumb piece of shit. Anyways, even without the whole bad PC conversation in question, IO9 just isn't very well optimized. Like, you can just be getting perfectly fine frames at one point and then day 2 comes and they just plummet. Like, some people lag when loading into the lobby when they previously didn't, and so many people crash now when loading into the game. Like, even if you put that reduced graphics setting on, it doesn't really help that much. Some people I know don't even load into the game until day 1 is almost over. And don't even get me started on that goddamned rubber banding bullshit. So apparently this all happened because the developer who was in charge of optimization left before the update was finished. Either that or IO is just purposely meant to take significantly more resources than the vast majority of games on the Roblox platform. Remember before when I was praising IO8 for being able to run on phone? So there's also a new lab now with a bunch of frog spawn in it, which like I said are basically zombies. And there's also a scientist in the lab that gets killed by frog spawn, which is a little bit weird because I thought the island got evacuated. Why the fuck is this scientist here? Did they just leave him behind? The hornet used to shoot 5 balls instead of 3. This was not fun to go up against compared to the other parasites. There's this pig that gives you a little bit of insight that he knows that this is all a simulation. Like, maybe the pig is supposed to be an outside force. Maybe like he's like a Redditor, like viewing in on the game or something. I don't know. I hope this gets further explored, I guess. The acid burn stacks on top of itself, which I don't like. Like, imagine spending all that time and effort into your run and just having it instantly destroyed. It just doesn't seem fair. Especially when you consider it in relation to the process of activating the other 2 pylons. Artifact B isn't so good anymore, which is kind of sad. Artifact C also isn't so good anymore, but that isn't going to stop me from using it because the regeneration was just a side benefit in my eye. Apparently some people out there think it's a bitch move to use artifacts in Isle. To that I say, fuck you, they're in the game for a reason, you dumb piece of shit. Was this update worth the wait? I mean, yeah, if you're an Isle fan, you'd enjoy this update no matter what the devs made. They could have just added the 3 parasites alone and the IO fanbase would have still ate that shit up. I feel like I wanted to make a video about the poor optimization, but I wanted to wait until the dust around this update had settled, because it seems like the comment section would have been filled with shit like this. Either way, I think that this update was fairly enjoyable. However, I bear the burden of already having done almost everything in the game. A big part of what kept me playing the game so much was the mystery. And same with this update, a big part of what kept me exploring IO9 was, well, trying to explore what was new. But now that I've pretty much explored the vast majority of all the stuff that's actually worth giving my time to, I don't really have anything else to do. So I kind of just stopped playing. Like, yeah, if I really wanted to, I could have just gotten Island Spelunker, or I could have gotten the Witness title, but I don't know if it's worth going through all that struggle. You'd think that they would have added some sort of system to keep people hooked on the game besides the whole title thing, but I guess not. Although, if some people were able to do True Champion over and over again, I guess they'll just find a way to do the hanger/orbit endings over and over until they get bored. Anyhow, the most interesting part of Island 9 was surely the parasites, and I hope that their lore is expanded on in the next installment. Or perhaps they'll explore the truth ending, and the pig, more in the next one. I just hope we don't have to wait 2 years for part 2 of this update. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and join my Discord. And leave a comment leave a comment so that the algorithm comes through. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you found my take on IL-9 entertaining enough to make it through the entire video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.